Now, over to page 34 and 35. Top left, wild meat delivered fresh, healthy natural meat from the Suffolk countryside delivered to your home. This is an advertisement for the Wild Meat Company, whose website is www.wildmeat.co.uk, and their phone number 01728 687 627. You can order squirrel, you can order rabbit and pheasant and wild boar from Poland, rather lovely. There's the advert for Hawks, catapults and accessories. Sadly, they are now shut. He said some lovely things there, but I will read that he put, my band or tube sets are made to an exceptionally high standard by myself and are hard to beat with very competitive prices. But don't take my word for it. Check out my 99.6% feedback with over 5,000 sales. 4/10. There are nutters you cannot please. And there are his links, both of which I think are now will bring up to something that's shut. Underneath that, there, the Whippet Warrior. That's Martin Whippet, Master Martin Hemsworth. You can reach Martin Whippet on Facebook by searching for Martin Hemsworth, Whippet Warrior, and making a friend request. You will be after you get. You will be. I'll start that again. You can reach Martin Whippet on Facebook by searching for Martin Whippet, Whippet Warrior, and making a friend request. You will be after you get one of his beautiful, affordable slings, meaning you'll be his friend. A legend with G10, and more recently creating wonderful resins for his own work and for scaling that of others, like the Chopper reviewed on page 35, meaning opposite. Meaning this beastie here, it's a Martin Hemsworth resin scale on the Mick French knife. There's his advert, Mick French Knives and Cheese. Mick's Provenance certificate included with each build. It says underneath it, thank you for purchasing one of our bespoke custom knives. These knives are handmade by myself from start to finish here in the United Kingdom. The steel I use is a high carbon content 01 tool steel Rockwell 58 to 62, delivering a surgical cutting edge. This blade requires a little maintenance. It has been oiled in food-grade ballistol oil for its journey to you. This oil can be applied to any surface of the knife, thus ensuring longevity. Hope this knife meets your approval. It serves you and your descendants well. Kind regards, MFC. And that's the whole point for this page, is the first of what I called Maker's Mark. I can tell you, able to hear famous fabricators, that Mr. Mick French has now become very famous in our scene. I think entirely from his own efforts. That he's been in the magazine doesn't hurt, but you couldn't quantify it, or certainly can't claim any credit for it. This is one that I purchased. Maker, Mick French. Model, always custom. This is a small-sized chopper fit for poultry with a pheasant scene sheath and Martin Hemsworth honeycomb scales. Price varies by the amount of work, but Mick is still far from expensive. Antler ferro rod was thrown in free. I'm struggling to remember what I actually paid. You'll have to ask him. Web link to buy, and there is a web link. Facebook, this is Mick's Facebook group page, which you will have to ask to join. Folks can see his every new effort there. Now, we gave this a Slingshot World heirloom grade award, because this is a knife you can leave to your descendants, just like it says in the certificate. Our regular look at the best makers' efforts in catapult-related and bushcraft creations. Knives, leather goods, carvings, and pyrography and catapult art will all feature on this page. This issue, the gifted gunstock, catapult, leather goods, and lately knife maker, Mr. Mick French. The blade. 5mm thick, pre-annealed steel, full tang, poultry chopper-style knife. Blade edge is just over 80mm. The rear of the blade has a round notch, and the blade has a classic chopper hanging handle, plus 4 smaller inner line. The surface features a file-work napped flint look, a classic Mick French signature. The back edge of the tang shows deep feathering patterns, pigment mixed resin filled. The napped and filed tang extends beyond the gorgeous Martin Hemsworth green resin scales with alley honeycomb to house a lanyard hole. A small spot on the right of the blade is left smooth to bear Mick's rack of antlers blade stamp. All Mick's blades are outlined onto the steel freehand. There are no templates, ever. Each is thus unique. Heat treatment on Mick's forge renders each blade tough and hard, so a wicked edge is held long term. The lanyard is tough cord, knotted like iron and heat sealed, to also include a decorative bead. Made from the same scale materials on the chopper, 2 pieces back to back on the red liner is also found between the steel and the resin. 3 structural pins 2 steel and 1 a resin-filled micro-notched mosaic pen with 5 tiny copper rods and a brass tube inside it adds scale strength. The sheath, vegetable tanned hide, 3 layers deep at the blade edge with a double-layer belt loop and brass popper to secure it. A pheasant taking off over a pond with bulrushes by the edge is artfully embossed onto the front. The undyed leather tag bears the letters MFC and the up arrow in a circle with a plus maker's mark that Mick uses on his leatherworks. That's found on the rear of the sheath. It's stitched with precision through 9mm of leather. The quality. This is exquisite and awfully dangerous. For being quite ridiculously sharp, it really needs huge care or else some armouring to the inside of the sheath's retainer strap, as the blade could slice it like butter. Maybe mithril chainmail, because the forged treatment that happens after the file work and the grinding and edging of the blade leaves it surgically sharp. Taking pheasants from feathers to fillets will be easy with this. The leather art is so delicate you can see details you missed months later. Mick has poetry in his soul as well as deep skills and creativity. All his blades, even the tiny ones, are ergonomic and fit your hand like a metal extension of you.